Hello from sunny Arizona. I'm out here in Scottsdale visiting my daughter, and in the downtime, I've been looking through some watches online. And I decided to buy one of the watches from Mark at Long Island Watches, the Islander Automatic Diver, hoping to receive it shortly after I get back. So stay tuned to this video as I do an unboxing and a review of this new watch to my collection. Welcome. On this episode of Adventures with Time, I review the latest acquisition for my watch collection, the Islander Automatic Dive Watch from Mark at Long Island Watches. Now, on to my new watch. It's the Islander Automatic Dive Watch from Long Island Watches. Many of you know Long Island Watches as a distributor of many brands, including Seiko, Orient, and several micro brands like AV8 and Squally. Recently, Mark of Long Island Watches started production of his own line of watches called Islander Watches, very appropriate. He looks to be up to about 17 different models, including dial and strap variants. As I stated in the introduction to this video, I was looking at his line of watches and was struck by the yellow dial dive watch, reference number ISL08. I thought this would be a great watch for the summer or winter vacations to warmer climates. I've been using my Seiko Samurai for this purpose, but I'd like to have another watch in that vein. That is, a dive watch that I don't mind getting beaten up, and something with a relaxed and fun style. The Islander Automatic Dive Watch with its yellow dial seems to fit the bill perfectly. But before we have a look at this watch, let me remind you to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell icon so you're alerted whenever I publish a video. And if you like pictures of watches, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Now, on to my new Islander Automatic Diver. So as you can see, the watch comes in a nice branded cardboard box, very utilitarian. That's my receipt. I keep my receipts with the box, and there it is, that brilliant yellow dialed diver. Very nice. Comes in a pillow, and a warranty and instruction card. So let me first take a look at the watch. Very nice, first impression. Very striking bezel against that very readable yellow dial. Let me go off camera and take all the protective coating off and get a few measurements before I discuss that with you. Now that I've gotten all of the protective plastic wrapping or coating off this watch, let's take a look at its specifications. Boy, that's a beautiful dial. That yellow dial, contrasting black printing, and the black and white bezel. Just beautiful. So Mark specifies this watch as being 43 millimeters in diameter. I measured it in a couple of positions, usual 2 to 4 o'clock, and I got about 41.8 millimeters. Then I tried a measurement sort of from the widest distances other than the lugs, and I got 44.2 millimeters. So you decide how you want to measure it. It's really how it fits on your wrist. Lug to lug, again, Mark comes in at 46 millimeters. I measured it at 44.6. Maybe he's measuring it including some of these first links here. I don't know. We both get a measurement of 14 millimeters thick. You can see that the crystal is very flat. Actually feels like it sits just shy of the top of the bezel. And the case back sticks down a little bit. So 14 millimeters there, 22 millimeter lug width. And I measured this with the bracelet coming in at a weight of 177 grams. Now let's take a look at some of the design characteristics. It's got a stainless steel case with, obviously comes with some fingerprints that I added to it. Polished sides with drilled lug holes. That's convenient for changing out bracelet and straps. A matte or brushed finish on the top. Solid screw down case back with etched information of 200-meter water resistance, sapphire crystal, Island watch, and Islander as sort of the brand name or trade name of the watch, and a nice etching of Long Island there with the Long Island watch logo approximately where they are located on Long Island. Screw down crown with a logo again on it. Nice crown guards. The bracelet also is stainless steel, and you can see that it tapers pretty dramatically from the case, and then just by eyeing it, looks pretty symmetrical down to the buckle or clasp. Polished sides with screws to remove any unnecessary links. Nice fold over clasp which has milled pieces here. I can't tell, but I would think that these clasps are pressed. At least they look to me to be pressed. I can't really tell. Very nice brushing and 3 micro adjustments. Now let's look at the key parts of the watch. Comes with a sapphire top bezel, nice coin edge, and it's a diver bezel, unidirectional, 120 clicks. Let me do it with my dominant hand. Nice grip. Certainly no backplay and not going to move. I guess those of you who are bezel fanatics would say the clicking action is a bit muted, but certainly it is tight enough so that it's not going anywhere. That dial is that beautiful sunshine yellow with contrasting black logo at the 12 o'clock position and automatic and 200 millimeter again indication at the 6 o'clock position. Chapter ring is also yellow with the minute track. Super luminova on the indices as well as the hands. And you can see that the hour indices, most of them are circles with a rectangle at the 6, a fatter rectangle at the 9, double rectangle at the 12, and a window for the date and the day at the 3 o'clock, which gives some symmetry between the 3 and the 9 o'clock position. The minute hand is really arrow, both in arrowhead and arrow tail. The hour hand is fat with a little point on it. I don't know if you want to call that syringe. And a very thin second hand with a circle counterbalance. Again, all filled with Supernova C3, as well as on the bezel. And I'll give you a Lume shot later. Let's take a look at the crown. Unscrew it. It is a screw down crown for water protection. Nice pop to the first position. Winding. You can feel the winding, but I really can't hear it. Second position is for setting the day and the date. One direction, counterclockwise adjust the date. and clockwise adjusts the day, which comes in 2 languages, as many Seiko movements do. And of course, last position, hacking and setting the time. Very smooth. Pushing it all the way down. Nice, tight screw down. Very nice. Finally, let's talk about the movement, which is the Seiko NH36. Now, this is one of many movements that are similar. The NH36 is identical to the Seiko 4R36, just an unbranded version of it. So in a Seiko watch, you'll get the 4R36, and in any non-Seiko watch that uses that movement, it'll be called the NH36. Now, if you've been subscribing to the channel for a while, you know that I've had some problems with the movement in my Seiko Samurai, which is the 4R35. Very same movement as this watch, except that this watch, which is the NH36 movement, has an additional day of the week wheel in addition to the date wheel. I'll leave a link up the top here to that playlist, which chronicles the problems I've had with that movement. So I have some reason to be cautious of these Seiko movements, but I've decided that whatever problem I have with the Samurai is really specific to that actual watch of mine, not of the Samurai as a whole, and not of the Seiko movements as a whole. So I'm willing to give this Seiko movement a try, especially since it's in such a beautiful watch, and we'll see how it performs over the next month or two. Now let's see how this watch looks on my almost 8-inch wrist. I have not really sized it yet. And actually, I don't think it really needs much sizing. Maybe moving it in one position on the micro adjustment, but it fits my wrist really well. I think it's a very good sizing for my wrist. Proportions are great, looks great. Doesn't really look that thick on the wrist. Feels a little weighty in that you will know it's there, but certainly not too heavy. Overall, I think a very handsome watch, suitable for those occasions where you want to wear something fun and very vibrant. Let's take a Lume shot so you can see how the Lume looks. Very nice green Lume. You'll note that you even get a reflection of the Lume on the hour indices off of the chapter ring. And note that the Lume on the second hand is on the counterbalance, so the seconds are actually opposite from that Lume pip on the second hand. Well, my first on-hands impression of this watch is very positive. I like the design, I like the feel. I am looking forward to taking this on my next trip. I think at $299, this watch represents real good value. You get a well-finished watch with sapphire crystal with AR coating, very nice ceramic bezel. You get a reasonable automatic movement with day and date complication, good water resistance, a nice and comfortable bracelet. All in all, a great package for just $299. Where can you get all those attributes for just $299? I'll be wearing this watch over the next several weeks, so stay tuned for a follow-up video with my longer-term opinion and any issues that I find. Until then, thanks for watching and see you on my next video. Hello from sunny Arizona. I'm out here visiting my daughter in Scott.